Ninja. Is this a bad movie? Well, let's talk about it. It's March-ial Arts Month. It's Martial Arts Month. Martial Arts. Oh yeah, 'cause it's March. Martial Arts. Anyway, let's get into it. Ninja is from 2009. It lasts about an hour and a half. It stars Scott Adkins as the titular ninja. Casey Bowman, a silent warrior, a deadly task, a lethal mission. Rubbish. Well, so according to IMDb, a Westerner named Casey, studying ninjutsu in Japan, is asked by the sensei to return to New York to protect the Yoroi Bitsu, an armoured chest that contains the weapons of the last Koga ninja. What? Koga? Not Koga. What's that? Toga? No, not Toga. Doesn't matter. Had you seen this before? No, I hadn't seen this before. I thought I had, but what I had seen before was a movie called Ninja Warrior. What I'd seen before was a movie called Ninja Assassin. That's what I thought this was when I put it on. They're both from 2009. They're both movies about ninjas. They both have ninja in the title, but they are quite different. Yeah, because this is cheap. It's quite cheap. It's not the lowest low budget movie I've ever seen. In the arms of the angel. I think what they do with their limited budget is pretty good, to be honest, really. Yeah. And it's always good to see Scott Adkins. I think he was born 15 years too late. I think if he'd been born a decade and a half earlier, he would have been a bigger star in martial arts movies, because there was more of an appetite for martial arts movies throughout the 80s and 90s.
The golden age.
So this movie opens in a temple. Casey and some other trainees are training in the ancient art of ninjutsu. Casey and another guy, his rival, Masazuka and Casey are rivals. They're both trying to get the heart of the teacher. Well, no, they're both trying to get the most respect from the sensei, because they're both the best. Masazuka doesn't like Casey because he's a Westerner. He shouldn't be here. He was brought here as an orphan and trained his whole life. They also both fancy Namiko. Namiko is the daughter of the sensei, and obviously she fancies the giant, muscly Scott Adkins. Well, anyway, the giant, muscly Scott Adkins and Masazuka have a fight. Yeah, it's supposed to be a little starring session that Masazuka takes it too far and tries to kill Casey. So Casey scratches his face with a knife. Well, he cuts him, yeah. And then Masazuka is expelled from the school. Yeah, he is raging. He really is raging. And Casey is told, right, you're the rightful heir to this place and I'm gone. Also, I want you to go to New York. Look after this legendary chest which you keep there. I don't know why they keep it in New York, but they do. Anyway, Casey and Namiko, for some reason, go to America, go to New York, and they stay there to protect the chest, which is held in some university. Yeah, not even where they're staying. Well, that's true. But Casey, he goes into this apartment and opens this closet, and it's like it belongs to Batman. Yeah. It's very Batman-esque, this weapons cabinet, or this ninja cabinet he seems to have. Masazuka has also teamed up with this little cult in America. Yeah, they're called like the Bright Light or something. Temple Industries. Oh yeah, it's just a workplace. It does sound like that. But Temple Industries is a cult run by these rich people, and as always. And they've hired Masazuka to go and kill some guys in Russia, and in return they will get the case full of weapons for him and also kill the White Ninja. Yeah, look out, Scott Adkins. So the whole movie is just him being attacked by these dodgy people and beaten on a lot in various different ways. Pretty much. Masazuka eventually comes to America. Yeah, he steals some guy's plane ticket. What? Security are going to realise it's not him? Yeah, it's a bit weird. Anyway, he flies to America. Casey and Namiko are trained for murder. Oh, by the way, before he goes to America, Masazuka stopped at the temple to kill all these ninjas and the master. Yeah, he kills the sensei. gives him an antidote, gives him a poison for which there is only one antidote. He takes the antidote and smashes it on the ground, and then cuts the old guy's head off. Yes, he does. The next question is, these ninjas that are doing nighttime patrols, they're killed so easily by this guy who didn't even complete training. What are they doing? Yeah, they're not the most competent, I guess. Lazy. So there are fights in office buildings and hotel rooms, on rooftops. Yeah, on the rooftop, right? Narsuzuka, he takes Nanako, she's knocked out. He flies down to the ground like a vampire, or like Robert Pattinson's Batman. He does. Anyway, like I said, it all leads to a big face-off between Casey and Masazuka. Before the two men fight, the Temple Industries guys come along to try and help out, so Masazuka starts killing them. Yes, he does. He kills half of them. Casey and Namiko kill half of them, and then Namiko is poisoned by the same poison that her father died of. This is in New York City, right? And there's a New York City police helicopter hovering above. But then, at the end of the fight, when they see one guy gets killed, they just fly off. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're watching the whole fight, and it's a big, long fight. And it's decent. The action in this movie is good. I think it could have been filmed better. Yeah, maybe. But Scott Adkins is a very good martial artist. This other guy is also great, and the fights are good, but yeah, a bit better cinematography might have helped. Anyway, Masazuka says, here's the antidote for Namiko. Oops, I've smashed it and dropped it on the ground. It's gone. She's a goner. Yep, and she actually is. But then, Masazuka and Casey are in their final seconds of the battle. Masazuka somehow turns invisible, like disappears in front of Casey, appears behind him. Casey senses it and stabs him through the stomach. And he dies. And that's when the helicopter leaves. Yeah, it is. And then he goes and cradles Namiko's dead or dying body. And then remembers that he was told this legendary sword that he holds can give life as well as take it. Yes, he realises he opens up the little handle. It's got a stare antidote in it. That's convenient, isn't it? Yeah, well, he gives it to her. Within a second, she is right as rain. Listen to these shite. Right. They turn around, see Masazuka is not actually dead, he's dying, but he's on his knees, and he looks at Casey. Casey nods at him, and then chops his head off. Yeah, I guess it's an honourable death. Sure. The happy couple return to Japan, carry on training, and that's the end of the movie. What a lot of rubbish. I thought it was okay. I like seeing Scott Adkins. I think he's a decent actor, really good martial artist, and well, I didn't like it at all. I thought it was cheap and just fights for fight's sake, and the fights are decent enough, so I'll give it that. Right, okay. But what did you think? Have you seen Ninja from 2009? Let us know. Hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video.